go. Shall we go? Hi, by the way, I did not say that on Sunday when I got to do the announcement.
You did not say what?
I did not say what I'm going to say right now is, hi, everybody, I'm Mary Perry.
I'm David Zen.
And we're unscripted. He's unscripted. I am scripted.
Unscripted.
I am toast this morning. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I have to give an invitation just right out of the beginning here. If anybody really wants to try and to have some fun and to work out with some good scripture and some great people, like do so. Like we had a great class last night, Wednesday night, and it's you feel like you worked out that day. So like, please check the calendar and see if there's anything.
You're talking about Praise Bar.
Praise Bar, yep. And it was really, really good. And then we got a great group on Saturday morning for Praise Moves, and then everything else is online. So just come try it. Just try it. It was really, really good. So there you go. Jumped right out early on that.
Sounds great. Okay.
Sounds great. Dave, how are you feeling after doing Praise Moves again? You feeling good?
Oh, I'm feeling just great.
Excellent. See, there's a happy customer.
I feel like I hadn't missed a year and a half at all.
Hardly noticed I missed a year and a half. Oh my gosh.
I'm right back in the saddle there.
Right back in the mat.
That's it.
Oh my gosh. So what do you have going on today, this week? What we got?
Well, let's see. What do we have at St. Paul? So this week closes out the liturgical year for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For those of you that don't really follow the church year, we don't go by January 1st to December 31st. We go by, our year starts with Advent and it ends with the last Sunday of Pentecost. And this Sunday is the last Sunday of Pentecost. So it's also called Christ the King Sunday, which actually is fairly recent. That's something that one of the popes started back in like 1916. You can read it in Sword Point somewhere. It does explain that. So it's a fairly recent thing where it's just the kingship of Jesus. And the gospel does refer to that. So let's look at the readings.
Yeah, let's do that. How many Sundays are in Pentecost? Do you have that right there?
Well, it varies.
Oh, okay.
You can go anywhere from, because Pentecost is what they call a movable feast because it's based on basically 50 days after Easter.
Okay.
I think that's what it means. And Pentecost is a movable thing. Or Easter is movable because that's based on the moon phase. So there can be anywhere from, I think, like as low as maybe 24 to as many as 29 Sundays after Easter.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
So the readings this week.
Yeah.
The first reading is from 2 Samuel.
Yep.
And it's kind of a poem that celebrates King David and his monarchy and God's covenant with David, basically saying it's an everlasting covenant. The psalm kind of follows that. It's a petition to the Lord to remember God's promise to David to provide him a son to reign after David dies and for a lasting kingdom. Then we start getting to the interesting stuff. The epistle is from chapter 1 of Revelation, where it lays out Jesus as the head of the royal household, and that he's coming soon. So one of my somewhere I wrote it down here.
Yep.
How about coming attractions?
Oh.
And then the gospel, it's almost kind of a, why would they have the conversation with Jesus and Pilate as the gospel? But the reason they do is because it's this interesting conversation between Jesus and Pilate. Pilate says, "Are you a king?" And Jesus goes on to explain that essentially he is a king. He kind of admits that he is a king, but his kingship is not of this world.
Yeah. Just imagine that.
So that would be, how about that conversation?
Right?
And Pilate's he's between a rock and a hard place, or a rock and a soft place.
Right.
But, not of this world could be a possible title.
Yep.
You've heard how about what's the phone ad, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Change that a little bit. Jesus saying, do you understand me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
He kind of lays it out for him several times.
Totally does. Totally does.
And no one gets it. So
no.
I'll
Wow.
kind of go with those. I'll hang my hat on those three and come up
Okay. I think those are great places. How great was Father Joe's sermon from last Sunday? That was great.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Great thing happened in the house of the Lord. I just thought that was so amazing, and just something to just for us all to hold on to is, oh, that was so good. That was so good.
As I'm looking at the possible sermon titles, I'm thinking of the little cartoon that we have in points where the two sheep are there. I forget what their names are. One says, "Do you really think Pilate wants to know the truth?" The other one says, "Truth is standing right in front of him."
Process that.
So you can know that he knows the truth.
Yep, that's
And
right.
He just doesn't know it,
Nope. That's good. That's good. I know. Such a great time of year. Wow, so good. I really enjoy this.
Let's look at the calendar
All right,
bit
let's.
here. So
We are going to get some guests. I just need to tell our viewers, we are going to get some guests soon. We're just kind of a little busy, but we will. And
if you want to be a guest, come to us.
just let us know.
You don't necessarily have to do it on Thursday morning. We're
Nope.
going to start adding to our technical capabilities here.
Yep. And you could do anytime. You could practically talk about almost anything. So we don't have to give you a topic. So hey, come be a guest. Be our
That's
guest.
why we're unscripted.
That's why we're unscripted. I mean, right there, that's a plethora of things to be talked about.
Yes.
Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest. I can't sing.
Come Lord Jesus, be our guest.
Lord Jesus, be our guest. Oh, maybe we should definitely have Kirsten on. Don't you think?
So looking at our calendar.
Oh, she could talk about lessons and carols. Sorry, we're having a meeting right now in the middle of it. Okay, go ahead, go.
So we'll try and do this with a little bit of semblance of order.
Oh, okay.
So on Saturday, our normal meetings and then praise move. And then at 11 a.m., the Quilters meet.
And we know what that means.
That means the Quilters meet in proper. And where 2 or 3 quilters are gathered together, in addition to quilts, there's usually food.
That's what it means.
And then so they meet at 11 till 5.
And that's open to anybody.
1 to 5, but I think they did the 11 to prepare the food and get the food ready.
Get it in there. So, but that's open to anybody, right? If you have any interest at all, or just want to be with some amazing group of women, and kind of,
Yes.
You have some, please do come. That's an open invitation. It's really fun. Great
If they
people.
have some socks that need to be darned,
Anything. Ironing.
and they'll darn it all. So
They come in with their little irons and stuff. So I might just do a few.
I think our Alto Guild is planning on taking down some things that need some repairs,
That's a good idea.
put them at work.
Yeah.
So then on Sunday, the last Sunday of Pentecost, Christ King Sunday, we've talked a little about that, but starting this week during the Illuminating the Scriptures period, Dan Bacon is going to be presenting a 5-week video thing on, I think it's called The Journey, Walking the Road to Bethlehem.
So good.
As we go through Advent and lead up to Christmas, that will be very good. That will rewrite a little Christmas card nativity scene that you've had. A lot of that will be corrected for you.
Good job. Wow, that's awesome.
Then on Monday, the addition to the calendar this week is the Lessons and Carols rehearsal starts.
Yes.
That's 7 p.m. up in the sanctuary. And everyone's invited to that. You don't need to be able to sing, or you don't need to make a commitment, but that's always a big event.
Oh, my
Usually
God.
they end up with 25, 30 people.
So beautiful. And if you haven't yet experienced Lessons of Carols because of last year, please put it on your calendar. It is not to be missed. Your heart and your spirit just get filled up with the Word of God and just amazing music. Such a great night. One of my favorite nights.
And then the other big thing on the calendar next week is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And we have a 10 a.m. service at the church, Holy Communion. And for many people, that's one of their, probably not maybe the favorite, but it's one of their favorite services. Because Father Joe does not do a sermon. He opens it up as a period of people sharing Thanksgiving. So if you've been to a healing service at St. Paul's before, where people stand up and give their healing testimonies, this is really an opportunity for people to give up and give their gratitude, their Thanksgiving testimonies.
And it can be
It's always
anything.
a great time.
Oh my gosh. And it's so heartwarming. And it's not this big, it doesn't have to be. Sometimes it's larger than others. Sometimes it's super small. Sometimes it's super big. And the testimonies don't have to be minutes and minutes. They're just quick, I'm grateful for. And it's just so amazing. And, I was thinking about that and I was like, oh my gosh, did you realize that you cannot bring turkeys to church?
I'm sure Jim Miller told you.
He did, because they have foul language.
They do have foul language.
I jumped in there, Jim, before he tried to answer it.
Nice.
Okay, for those of you keeping track at home, that was a small, feeble attempt at one point.
You want to just unload all your turkey jokes on us?
Should I just, I was thinking of that. I should just do them. All right, I'm going to do that.
Give us another turkey. Go ahead.
Okay, here's another turkey. What do you call a turkey the day after Thanksgiving?
Well done.
Lucky. What kind of music did the Pilgrims like? Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth Rock.
Last Thanksgiving on the way home, I was stopped by the police because they said, I shouldn't have started this one. Last Thanksgiving on the way home, I was stopped by the police. They said I exceeded my feed limit. Oh my God. And I have one more.
Please.
I'm sorry, Jim, right now. Anyway, why did the cranberries turn red? Okay, why did the cranberries turn red?
Why did they? I don't know.
Because they saw the turkey dressing.
Nice. Okay, can we get on with the show here?
Yep, go ahead.
Is there a show in our future?
Nope. I don't know that we could be canceled because it's not that kind of thing, but maybe. Okay, go.
All right, so as I'm glancing through sword points here, a couple highlights.
Go.
One, last Thursday, we didn't know this before our show started. One of our former parishioners Shirley Jessup died.
Yes, sweets.
You know, we put the obituary on our Facebook page, but there's a link to it in Sword Points.
Yeah.
Harlan and Shirley were faithful members of our parish for a long time. They lived in Newtown for, what did it say, 47 years?
Something like that.
Before they moved up to Maine. And if people want to drop me an email, I can tell them how to get in touch with Harlan.
Oh, okay. Oh, great.
We heard from his family. Harlan physically is doing well. He's got some issues with memory, but
Okay.
it's okay for people to call him and to write him and stuff.
Oh my gosh, that would be so great. Just like, you know, you talk about some of those saints that have gone before us, right? They are just some of the foundations of St. Paul's. He was actually the historian, right? Before you are?
He
right?
was a historian, and he was one of our wardens too. I was
Yeah.
with him
Okay.
back in the day.
Back in the day. Wow. Yeah. What really, truly great people. Oh, that's great. I was going to ask you if we could get in touch with Harlan. Okay, good. Oh, we'll get that. So let you know. Okay.
And then we have a lengthy piece in there, which is actually a sermon from Father Jim Wheeler, which is a good read. I encourage people to take a look at it. If you're concerned at all about or discouraged about the decline of the church in general, not St. Paul's, but it's a very interesting read, and his suggestions there.
Good. I did see that.
We should give another plug for the blessings tree.
Yep.
Still in the back of the church. You know, take one of those Post-it notes and put what you're thankful for, hang that on there. And I don't know how exactly we're going to do that on Thanksgiving morning, because there are a lot of them. I'm going to say there's about 50 of them on there right now. So.
Oh, I think so. And if you want to get filled up, just take a quick read. Like, no one's names are on them anyway, but just take a quick read and you'll just see there is a lot of gratitude and there are a lot of blessings out in the world, even though a lot of people focus on the contrary. There's a lot of good stuff out there. So get filled up.
So while we're on the subject of trees, we've moved on from the gift cards for giving, where we help several families with gift cards to help them buy turkeys. Now we're doing our Christmas giving tree. That's why we have a Christmas tree up in the back of the church. It's not like we're trying to jump the gun and get Christmas underway before Advent even starts. But we have adopted 4 families, and in the past, people have gone out and bought actual gifts. This time, making it a little bit easier, but just doing gift cards to local merchants, and then they'll be given to the families so they can buy their gifts. The reason we have it up right now is those cards are due back by December 5th. So be sure to drop by and take one of those tags.
Absolutely. And while you're talking about that, can I just give a little plug for not just Sunday school, but also that Patrick and Nicole are looking at doing a version of a pageant this year. So, you know, the Sunday school, everybody's coming back. Well, not everybody's. People are coming back piece by piece, 1 by 1, 2 by 2, and the Sunday school is filling up again. So we're now expanding, I think, to 3 classrooms, I think he said. So it's really great. So if you haven't yet, or you're thinking this is a good time to come on back, please feel free and do reach out to Patrick or Nicole and talk to them about the pageant. So there will be some kind of version of that today with the kids, this year with the kids.
Okay, and one of the final things here, the new our daily breads, the meditation booklets. These are for December, January, February. They are available. They'll be in the back of the church.
Back of the church, great.
Or you can pick them up there, or you can shoot me an email and we'll mail one to you.
And it's so good. You just drop those in your bag or in your car or wherever you want to. It's just really good. Just quick little things to keep you in the Word every day.
And we have coffee hour this week is being hosted by the Mission Committee.
Oh, right, great.
At both services, so
That's good.
hopefully that'll be, well, all the coffee hours are good, but somehow when you have a whole group sponsoring, sometimes they go a little over the top. And
Absolutely, absolutely.
that they do.
And, if you are, going out the front door so that you can, have your greetings and say hello to Father Joe, that's wonderful. But do maybe take a right and head into Crocker Hall and, after you've said hello and coming down the thing, and just come on in for coffee hour, because they're great. It feels so good to be back, to be able to do it. You can still spread out if you want. There's tables up, there's chairs. You can still go wherever you want. So, but come on back.
And coffee hours for everyone.
Yeah.
I noticed your grandson loves coffee.
He loves coffee hour. He loves a good loaf. So anybody that's doing coffee hours, he likes those loaves. That's huge.
Okay.
Huge.
I was talking to him down there.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Grady, you know why we have coffee hour? And he didn't even hesitate. He said, "Oh, that's to wake people up before they drive home."
I will guarantee you he didn't say that. Oh. Okay, that's good. That's good. What else you got? You've been a little quiet, a little slow on the thing here.
That doesn't mean anything, Mary. So I did read an interesting article the other day.
You did, Dave? What was it about?
About how to be safe.
Okay.
So one of the things that say to be safe, avoid riding in automobiles.
Huh.
Automobiles are responsible for 20% of all fatal accidents. So another thing you can do to be safe is don't stay home, because 17% of all accidents occur in the home. And another thing, avoid walking on sidewalks or streets, because 14% of all accidents occur to pedestrians.
Oh my gosh. So Dave.
And let's go a little further. You can avoid traveling by air, rail, or water, because 16% of accidents involve one of these forms of transportation. And, very important, of the remaining 33% of deaths, 32% occur in hospitals. So avoid hospitals. But there is some good news in this report.
What is it?
Did you know that only 0.001% of all deaths occur in worship services? And usually it's because someone has a previous physical disorder, pre-existing condition. Therefore, one of the safest places for you to be at any given point is be in church. And I'm going to give a little plug to our Bible studies. The percentage of deaths during a Bible study is even less.
Stop it. What?
How's that for research?
That, first of all, I am impressed if all of those numbers are even remotely correct. And second of all, that makes a great, that's good reporting right there, David Zen. That's the kind of hard-hitting news our viewers want. Is there a punchline? Was that it?
No. You want
okay. I always feel like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop somewhere.
I think we told the story of the king a couple weeks ago, when he went to get the drink and he was in the wrong line and he asked, he's looking for punch. And they finally told him there is no punchline. So, no punchline.
Yes, you're right. There is no punchline. Well, that's good reporting right there. Guys, I would love to hear our viewers comment on that reporting, because that is a feature story. Feature.
Stuff that you only get in Unscripted.
Yeah, you're only going to get it here. You are only going to get it here. I think I stand with everybody else just waiting for it, but okay. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming. What else you got? Come on, let us have it.
That's it. So everyone, let's have a great week, and we'll see you on Sunday. And when are we going to be on next week? Because normally we do Unscripted on.
Right. We have to do our holiday edition. Okay, we will let you know. Maybe Wednesday, right? Probably okay. Wednesday. Yeah. All right, we'll do a special Wednesday edition. I'll be in our remote mission field out in South Texas.
And sword points will be a day early next week.
On Wednesday?
Points will come out on Wednesday.
Okay, so if anybody needs to put something in, they should get it to you Tuesday.
Get it to me a day earlier than you normally.
Which would be midnight on Tuesday.
Whatever.
Bye, everybody.
All right, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good week.
Please.
You all right there?
I just